going live. Let me see if I could figure out a way to make this go to Facebook. Maybe I have to share it. Anyway, how y'all doing today? It's looking like winter weather outside. It's cold, snow. Friday, Sunday, still snow on the ground. Temperatures rising and dropping and doing what it's doing. I'm feeling good right now. I'm in my VA state of mind by way of Georgia. I'm chilling in Georgia right now. You see the logo, OHP, always represented, baby. Risen Heads Production, Third Eyes on. Alright, I'm coming to y'all right now with the Ras Life. Now, I titled this Ras Life because the Rastafarian has a culture. It's a disciplined culture. I love the culture. Yes, I am a true American. I have Native Indian blood in me. I have African blood in me, European blood in me. But I'm an American, a black American. It's hard for me to call myself African American because I've never been to Africa, even though it's evident that I have African blood in my veins. But let me tell you something. The Rasta culture, and not even just Jamaican, it's the Rasta culture. You can find Rastas across the globe. One thing about the Rasta, it's a oneness with nature. It's a freedom of not trying to have to understand where you fit in this world. You just know that you are a member of this world and you are a product of your society. Now, me, I have different sides. Well, I guess that kind of coincides with the name Dice. And Dice has 6 sides, and some of you may think it's 4, but if you look at a cube, and actually it would be 12 sides because Dice is 2. It's 2 cubes, not just 1. Your boy always flipping different sides, always trying to find what's best. But as you can see, my crown is growing back again. The crown is returning. I allowed it to return. I didn't tell it to return. I didn't go against the grain. And when I cut it, there's many reasons why I cut my locks. The previous locks that I had, you already know. A lot of people ask me, how long are your locks before I cut them? And my reply was, they come down to my belt. 5 feet 11, and that's a pretty extended length for your hair to go down to your belt with a pretty tall torso. I have some long legs too. Both of my parents were tall. One of the most profound reasons why I cut the locks off was because I always looked at my locks like a crown, even when I decided to grow them. And when they decided to grow out of me, it was an awareness that it is a royal regal type of thing to wear the locks. I was corrected earlier by a Rasta of a sort, a female who corrected me. I was corrected a few times in different spots, not to call them dreads, because the people who named them dreads were coming at it from a negative perspective, like dreadful, like a dreaded place. You look up the definition of what a dread is. The hair locked. If you twist them long enough, they will start to lock, forming a stronger strand of hair. Where, it's a lot to be said about that. You could look at that and see how the hair works together. It's a strength. It's a strongness. It's almost like a rope. And but I just came to a place where new beginnings. I lost my mother almost a year now. It'll be a year in February where I lost my mother, and my daughter turned 18 years old, 2017. And I started growing my locks when she was born. So that was a completion on that aspect. Another chapter on the aspect of my mother. Another chapter in the aspect of my understanding and where I was in my position as a society. There's been a lot of mixed feelings about it. Never grew my hair for no one else. It was always for me and my walk and where I was, my journey, my path. Okay, I turned that page. That chapter has been completed, and now another chapter is starting. And as you can see, the crown is returning. I had made the statement. I have no right to wear a crown without a kingly crown without my queen. So, with the crown returning, that may be saying something. I don't know. Maybe you'll find out on Air It Out, which is another show that I participate on, where I co-host with Summer Gerald's, Summer Seporia Gerald's, which is, there's a royalty in that name as well. And there's a lot of reasons why we agreed to be partners on that podcast, because we have a lot of deep-seated conversations as it pertains to relationships, life, and just different things that you see as you walk about this life. I created OHP TV because there was a lot of things that I was doing in the entertainment industry where I was capturing art being made and created, and I wanted to catch the behind the scenes, the unpolished versions of productions and interviews with directors, producers, actors, actresses, and writers. The types of interviews that you won't normally see in mainstream media because they want the more polished versions. I think they're getting more into the reality aspect. People like to see reality shows and reality in people's lives. Like, even you'll see a lot of celebrities going on live right now, and it's helping their product because people just want to connect. People want to see how normal we are with each other. Most people are feeling the same ways as far as survival and wanting to achieve and wanting to grow and be successful in businesses and things like that. But I tell you what, being me, it's your Mr. DJ Dr. Dice, I'm always going to bring different angles to the ideas of talent, entertainment, and gifts and inspirations. So as I come to you on YouTube with the Ras Life, it's a way of life. Ras Life is a way of life. You know, I do a lot of research, as many of you may do a lot of research on things that you're interested in. I'm interested in survival and culture and relationships and individual feelings and people, the way people feel as they go day by day trying to coexist. The Rasta life, what I like about the Ras life is, you know, most Rastas, well, the Rastas that I follow and study, have a very disciplined health habit where eating, resting, thinking, meditating, and getting along with your fellow man is a very important thing, a very important part of existence. And I agree with that. I think unless you were born on an island, you were here to add, learn, you know, get what you can get from someone. And it would be at your best interest to learn from a wise person, someone who has wisdom and someone who has insight. People who study, people who read books and do research on other great people. This is one thing I'm priding myself on, is studying great people. So as you see me, you know, the title of it is Ras Life, but most of you who know these colors, you know, the red, the yellow, the green, and the black, you know, that's the African color. You know, what you see in the back is a spin-off from that, which is the Jamaican screaming out their position in life, as well as being attached to the Jamaican culture. Now, yes, I'm in a European atmosphere. A lot of things that I have learned and have been taught came from the European aspect. But I tell you one thing, I've always been a thinker, even from a baby to a toddler. You know, speaking with my mom after I got older and speaking with my father after I got older, they telling me what type of child and what type of toddler I was. I played by myself for a while. I grew up with uncles and cousins that were close in age, and aunts that were pretty young. And I had one of my uncles tell me, yeah, we kind of grew up together. And that's very true, even though I always looked at them like the authority, like they were over me, of course, and I've always given them that respect, and I still give them that respect. But as a culture, we were kind of being brought up together. So when you have an individual thinker, someone who's outside the box like myself, I was always asking questions. When somebody told me to do something, I'd be like, why? Explain why, And a lot of their answers was because I said so. They're looking at it like I'm the authority. You do it because I told you to do it. But me being the type of person who always question things, I'm like, well, can you explain that? Well, as an adult and as I walk in my own path now and I'm able to do things on my own and have for some time, I do a lot of research. I question a lot of people in all walks of life. You'll never imagine what type of people I interview and what type of people I question just on a personal journal. I just got off the phone with a very, very close friend of mine in Virginia, Puerto Rican cat, from New York, but was kind of raised in Virginia, where I was raised at, and we shared a lot of memories together. And as I watch him evolve and grow into the man that he always wanted to be, of course I would ask him some questions and listen to him on how he feel about life and how he feel about the laws of the land, and just people he come in contact with, and relationships on, just like I said, being coexistent, how to add and not subtract, and how to assess the people who do subtract out of your life, how to take the lessons from that and move forward. As I speak with my daughter, my 18-year-old daughter, she's a very wise young lady and very smart, very intelligent. And her mother and I instilled that in her when she was very small. And make big deals out of things that she do and what she come up with, and encourage her to push her thought process far. So, I don't know. I think this culture, I don't embrace this culture. I don't embrace the American culture. I take what I can get from it. I take the positive and I leave the negative. And I embrace other cultures who have a strong kinship with their families and just hanging on to traditions like togetherness and sharing, like sharing ideas over a meal. And how was your day? You're talking about how your day was. And everybody having a voice from the oldest to the youngest. So, when I say Ras culture, I'm just letting you know where your boy is right now. Still is your Mr. DJ Dr. Dice. Another side of the cube, the dice. Still exploring my mind, still exploring my heart. And as far as relationships is concerned, you're dealing with a product that is under construction. So, think how you think, feel how you feel, love how you love, and do what you do. It's your Mr. DJ Dr. Dice, a.k.a. Matthew Neal Ray Jr. OHP TV, what's up with that?